Hello there everyone and welcome to a new review on the channel. And today we're going to be looking at a relatively new product and one that has zero discussion about. And that is The Bigger Picture by Radek Hoffman. Now I don't know if I was maybe under a rock and this was some kind of huge controversy about this product that I may have missed, or it's some kind of plagiarism or something really bad and everyone is boycotting the product. Because there is zero talk about this on the cafes, on YouTube, on Facebook, anywhere you go. There is zero mention of this product. Absolute nothing. And it's actually very good. And I'm surprised that no one is talking about this or no one is even mentioning that this exists. And I think that's a very missed opportunity for a lot of people. So I'm going to try and bring this to light. And if ever this is some kind of really boycotted product, I'm sorry that I actually really like this. I'm not aware of that, but yeah, this is very good and I can't wait to talk more about it. So let's roll the intro and get straight into it. Okay, so you decide to stick around, which means you want to learn more about the bigger picture. So what is the bigger picture? The bigger picture is a set of kind of poster cards looking like Polaroid cards that will allow you to do a bunch of various effects. There's 3 effects taught on the tutorial, but it will allow you to do a bunch of other stuff. For example, it's going to allow you to do a very easy colormancy, so you're able to determine the colored from the non-colored cards. It's going to let you do a very poignant and very good routine that I'm going to talk about in a moment. That's kind of the flagship routine for me, but it's also going to let you do an incredible 8-minute one-on-one piece with these cards with your spectator that involves mind reading, predictions, influence. It is very good, and we're going to talk about all that in a moment. But let me tell you the main routine of this, which is the routine that I actually perform in my show and that I've included. We're going to talk about why that is. But essentially, there is a routine in here. I won't fully do the routine because you actually do need the spectators. Let me make sure that I remove that from here, the instructions. But essentially, one of the routines requires 2 spectators to be on the stage. You introduce them these cards. You tell them, look, I have here some Polaroid cards and we're going to use these in a moment to get your mind to think of different things. So you then proceed to just take these and you're going to give half to someone, for example, here, and half to someone here. They will proceed to mix the cards up. So one spectator mixes these cards, one spectator mixes these cards. One spectator, you then instruct them that they can look through the cards and choose one that stands out to them. So fully free choice. They can just choose one that they like, just like this. Okay, and then you tell them, okay, once you have it, we're going to return it back to your piles, etc., etc. And then you ask them to shuffle it again. And then you're going to be able to determine exactly what card each spectator has chosen by different means. The way that Radek does it in the trailer is the first one is someone puts his arm on your chest, on your back, and then you proceed to deal down the cards like this, and you tell them, okay, I'm going to try and get a feeling from you here. Okay, wait, I got a feeling here. This was the card you chose, yes. So that's how he does the first spectator. And then the second spectator, he asks the first one to cover your eyes, and then you tell the first spectator, the second one, to actually deal down the cards and to call out what the items are, but your eyes are covered by the other spectator. And eventually, he's going to call out the names of the objects slowly, and then he's going to say, beautiful curved fence, and then say, wait. I'm not sure if it's the next one. What's the next one? He's going to say ship. So it's either ship or the curved design. I think it's the curved design. And then you reveal that I was correct as well, and you weren't even looking at the card. So that's the way that he does it. I do it a bit differently, but that's one of the routines as well in the project. So yeah, that's essentially what the bigger picture is. It's a set of Polaroid cards that will let you do a bunch of mental feats. So knowing this, where do you buy this? How much does it cost? And what do you get? So this is distributed from Murphy's, which means that you can buy it literally anywhere, which is surprising that it's kind of gone under the radar because it is a Murphy's product and you can't pretty much get it from any of your local magic shops. It will set you back $50 US. And what you get for your $50 US is you get this. You get 2 of these sets, so you get 100 of these cards basically. So this is half. Okay, so you get 2 identical sets. The other half is in my carrying case because I do perform it. So you do get a spare set. So for some routines where you do need, there's some routines that do use both sets, but most use just one set. So you have a set spare. So in case you lose a set or it breaks or anything, or you want to do something with predictions, you can have an extra card of each to use as predictions. Or if you want to do a do as I do routine, for example, you can do that as well. So you get 2 identical set of these cards. And these cards are, they're marketed as Polaroid pictures, but they're not. These are kind of like a glossy cardboard, I may say. So it's like a glossy cardboard that's made to look like a Polaroid picture, but it does handle very well. And the cards are pretty big, which is nice for stage. And the images and everything on it is very nice. You can see that. Everything is very well made, and you get a lot of cards for your money. So you're going to get this, okay? And then you're also going to get your instructional link here, which is going to lead you to a video which is around 1 hour and 10 minutes long. That's going to go over live performances, so not studio performance, live performances of each of the 3 effects, and then the explanations in great detail with Radek Hoffman explaining to you everything that you need to know about all 3 effects. And the 3 effects, as I mentioned, are the 2-person mind reading, which is the effect with the cards that I've just mentioned. You get the bigger picture effect, which is essentially a really great effect where a spectator and yourself have a stack of these, which is why I mentioned that you get 2 of these stacks. The spectator is essentially going to cut, mix up, and then he's going to think of one card and place it back. You're going to be able to immediately know what the card is that he's just merely thinking of. You're going to be able to then tell him that you also picked a card, and it's, for example, the apple at position 25 in their shuffle deck. So they're going to count down, and the apple that you're thinking of is indeed at position 25, or it can be truly any position in their deck. And then you also reveal that all of this was just an experiment of influence, and you place down your cards on the table like this, right? You make like a grid, and then you reveal that all the kind of picture cards in your stack actually reveal a sentence, and it says, you will pick the frog, for example, which is the exact thing that they picked freely from the start. So that's the bigger picture routine. That's a very involved routine. It requires a heavy setup, a heavy procedure, but everything is explained. And then the last routine that you get is the colormancy routine, which is essentially you're able to, just by touching or just by feeling with your fingers, tell the cards whether they're color or whether they're not color. You're able to do it. For example, I know that this one is black and white. I know that this one is black and white. I know that this one is color, right? So you can do a very easy colormancy routine with these cards as well. But that doesn't stop there. As I said, you can do other routines. If you know other routines, you can use these cards to achieve other effects as well. So that's essentially everything that you get with your package. So knowing this, what is the difficulty of the bigger picture? The bigger picture is relatively easy to do. I mean, the bigger picture effect, so not the project, the effect, that one is a bit hard to do because there's a lot of things to memorize. There's a heavy setup, there's a heavy reset. It does require time, effort, and practice. But the other routines, the colormancy, the 2-person mind reading, are bare bones easy. The colormancy routine, as I said, like I'm doing it for you just like this. I know this is color, right? And I basically didn't even practice. It is that easy. And even the 2-person mind reading is super easy to achieve as well. It is basically self-working in its procedure, literally almost self-working. So it's very easy. And if you know other effect that you want to do with these, then be my guest. You can use this if you want to do maybe kind of, you can use this as a key card. You can use one of these as a key card, have someone select one, you bury it, you use that as a key card, you spread them and you're like, see, you chose any one of these, right? But now you're just thinking of one in your head. Okay, you got a peek, you know what it is. You do a drawing duplication. You can do whatever you want with this set of cards if you know a routine. So difficulty-wise, it is relatively easy and beginner friendly. Moving on now to practicality. So what is the practicality of this? That's where this kind of starts to become a bit more different because it will have requirements. So first of all, you will need to carry around a stack of these, and this is not something, these weigh more than you may think because they are very thick plastified cardboard. So these do weigh a lot. So you will have to carry around these with you. I have these in my case with some rubber bands to keep them all stuck together. But this is not something you're just going to throw in your pocket and go walk around, because they are big. They are big cards, right? You can see they are kind of big. So they are big cards, they're heavy cards, and they take a lot of space. So this is something that you do need to plan to carry around with you. But for most of the routines, you just need the stack of cards. So if you're doing a parlor show or whatever, it's going to fit perfectly in your case. But if you're doing a rock around and you don't want to necessarily have a case with you, this will fill up basically an entire pocket of your suit, because it is pretty big. Moving on now to angles. The angles of this are pretty much 360, no matter the routines that you do. Pretty much 360 angles. In terms of inspectability, the cards can be fully inspected. There's no problem. Most of the routines, the specters do everything themselves, so they handle the cards the whole time, so there's not really any problem here. So inspectability is great. The reset, most of the routines are really quick reset. The two-person mind reading is an instant reset. It maybe is going to take 3 seconds, maybe just a cut, but it is pretty much an instant reset. The colormancy effect is an instant reset. If you're doing any other tricks of yours, that depends. But the bigger picture effect does require a more intricate setup, so that's not something that you can do and just reset on the fly and be able to go again. That will require a bit more reset, but most of the routines are pretty much instant. And yeah, in terms of table space, some routines will need a table, some will not. For example, the colormancy routine doesn't necessarily need a table. The two-person mind reading one doesn't need a table, and the bigger picture effect does require a table and a big table. So you do need to be able to spread all the cards, have a big dealing procedure, etc. So this table space also depends from effect to effect, depending what you're gonna do with the cards. Moving on now to where to perform this. So where do you perform the bigger picture? The bigger picture is something that can be performed in both stage-ish environments and close-up environments. So definitely, I'm doing this in small parlor settings. I'm doing the two-person mind reading in a small parlor setting. I think it works perfectly. The cards are big enough for people to see what's going on. So they are, they are big so people can see what's going on with them. They can see how they're being handled and how everything is working, which plays well for parlor settings. But you can also use this for close-up, no problem. It's still gonna work and it's still gonna do the job. So this is definitely something that you can use in both parlor, stage, cabaret, or close-up walk-around scenarios, depending on the routines that you want to do, and if you want to carry around those cards in close-up scenarios. So that is everything I have to say about the bigger picture. First, now let's talk about the negatives and positives before moving on to my verdict. So what are the negatives of the bigger picture? There's necessarily only one negative that I found, is this is marketed as a deck of Polaroid pictures, but when I got it, they were not Polaroid pictures. They were plastified cardboards that are made to look similar to Polaroid pictures. So that is something that you need to know, because I had honestly thought you are getting real Polaroid pictures here, but you're not. You're getting, as I said, cardboard cards that are plastified and made to look like Polaroid pictures. That's something that you need to keep in mind if you want to do this. But for all intents and purposes, they do the job, but it is something that when I opened them and handled them, I was like, oh, these are not actual Polaroid pictures. So it is something that you need to keep in mind. But that's the only real negative that I have regarding this. Moving on out to the positives. So what are the positives of this? One, you are getting 2 full stack of cards. You're getting a lot of things here with this. You're getting 3 fully phased routines with live performances. The tutorial is great. It's well shot. The cards are also really well made. As I said, even though they're not real Polaroid pictures, these will last an incredibly long time because they are thick cardboard and plastified. The drawings on them are very, very good. They're basically HD quality. This is not like some, they're not pixelized or they look out of place. They look beautiful and they handle beautifully. And it's also nice to have this as something that you can create your own routines with. So I imagine myself you could easily do a do-as-I-do routine with this. Instead of doing it with cards and having the 4 aces at the end, you could have the same 4 pictures that tell a story or a message that you predicted beforehand or whatever you want. So it's nice to have cards and Polaroid pictures that allow you to do that. And it's also very nice that it's very practical, not necessarily in terms of carrying, but in terms of what it achieves and its capabilities. And it's also nice that it plays well for stage and more close-up environments as well. So that's all I have to say about the bigger picture. Would I recommend this, and what do I rate it out of 10? Would I recommend the bigger picture? And my answer to this is yes. I think it is very good. I think it does the job, and I think you will be pleased with your purchase if you do end up buying it. It is a very good mentalism routine that really went out under the radar, in my opinion. There's really no talk about it, so I hope this maybe is going to entice some people into maybe trying to buy this and try it out. I'm giving The Bigger Picture by Radek Hoffman a 9 on 10. It is really good, and I do recommend it because I am using it in my actual performances. So yeah, that's all I have to say about The Bigger Picture. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions down below. If not, I'll see you in my next one. Have a great one.